I picked this big boy up from Lidl a little while ago, and I've reviewed the Imperial version of this. Let's put this like, shall we? Hello everybody, welcome to Andy's Beer Reviews. Yes, this is a blonde ale from Abbeye de Vauclair. Comes in at 6.2% ABV. Cost me £2.99. Now I think it's almost certainly supposed to be a Leffe type clone, but Leffe is now only 6%, so this beats that. And Leffe is about what, £3? What is it now? £3.80, £3.90, something like that for a large bottle. So if this is any good for the little additional ABV and the price, it could be a good alternative. Let's get it out. I seem to remember thinking that the Imperial version was okay. Not stunning, but okay. It's one of these little champagne and cage style openers. So this could be fun. Oh, it's going to release. Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. I did do a little bit of research on this one when I did the Imperial one, and the brewer for this is actually, it's interesting. It's obviously, like I say, a clone on Leffe, so it's a Belgian style beer brewed in France for a German supermarket and now sold in the UK. So it's incredibly multinational as a brew. I'm going to see what it's like, because I do pick up Leffe. I'm not a massive fan of them by any stretch of the imagination, but I do like to pick a Leffe up every so often and enjoy it. I do enjoy them every so often. I do enjoy them. So if this is anything like, if it's like a Leffe, then it could be something I pick up this one a lot more often. Beer in a glass. To me, from memory, that looks very similar. It's a clear amber colour, plenty of carbonation happening, and a just off-white head. Get a little sniffer, shall we? It's got the smell of an Abbeye Blonde. It's got a little bit of that Belgian caramel in there. It's a little yeasty as well, to be fair. Could be quite good. Right, let's taste it. Cheers, everybody. It's similar to Leffe Blonde, but it's not quite there. I don't know if it's, I think look at the label, he's probably trying to imitate them a little bit. The flavours are there. In fact, the flavours are growing a little bit. So it might be nice to have this warm up a little bit. Yeah, with every swig, actually, the flavours are building a little bit, which is quite nice. So by the time we get to the bottom of this, 75 cl, 3/4 of a litre, it should be quite nice. If you are new around here, consider subscribing. If you're already a subscriber, consider clicking the little bell icon. One thing I would like to say is, if you are looking at this now, watching this now, and you don't particularly want to comment, you don't have to. Click the like button. It helps the algorithms. It helps me understand what reviews you like to see. If you want to say something but don't know what to say, Just put the word beer. Tell me what your favourite beer is. That's what we can do today. Just tell me what your favourite beer is. We'll have a chat about your favourite beer. As it's starting to warm up a little bit, the flavours are starting to come through a little bit better. It's got that wheatiness in there. So that's coming through actually not too bad at all. And then from there, I have to say, everything else is like little hints of some very mild flavours, notes of banana. Yes. That sort of candied flavour. Yes, there's even a little bit of bubblegum coming through on this as well, which is quite nice. So I suppose that tends to show with these beers how sweet they are, and it is probably a little bit sweeter than Leffe. And that sweetness comes through as a bubblegum type flavour, so that's in there as well. So for me, it is a tad sweet for the style. Just as contains barley, produced in France. I wonder if they do the whole. I think they do. I think they do a big range of these, don't they? So you got the blonde, you got the brune, the brown. They do. I think they do a ruby one. So hopefully, all these at some time, I'll get a chance to try all of them. I don't know who brews these. There's beer of tradition on the cork. I don't know who brews it. When I sit down for a review, I don't like to know too much about the beer. But by the time this goes out, I'll have read a little bit about them and I'll know who they are. Sometimes I think if you know who the brewer is, if it's a particularly famous brewer or one you've had before, beers you like or don't like, it can sway your opinion. So it's just those things. I tend not to want to look at the labels as well until after I've reviewed the beer. So yes, beer. The flavours are there. The flavours are there. The wheatiness is quite nice. Like I say, there's a little bit of, it's probably a tad sweet for me. It's a little bit sweeter than it needs to be. But a little bit of candied fruit flavours there. That little bit of bubblegum flavour is there. There's a tiny little bitterness on the back end. It's okay. It's just a tad dull for me. It's just Leffe just like I say, it's not my favourite beer by any stretch of the imagination. Just that's a little bit more flavour, just a little bit of life in it, and this doesn't have that. It's just a little bit. Ugh. It just lacks a little bit, but what I will say is when you compare it as a price, like I said, I paid £2.99 I think for this one. Compared to, you can probably pay £3.99, £4 for a Leffe, same size. It's not a bad alternative at all. And if you want to get into, I'll tell you what he's good for. If you want to get into Belgian beers, this is quite inoffensive. It really is very inoffensive and probably a good way into this style. So if you know somebody if you drink yourself and you know somebody wants to get into Belgian styles, this might be a good opportunity to get them into something that's not overly done in the wheat department, in the yeast department. It's quite muted on all fronts. From Lidl, remember, £2.99. Score wise, Because the slightly elevated ABV over Leffe, and because the price, and because of availability, and because end of the day, it's not bad, I'm going to go this 6 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10 from Andy's Beer Reviews. If you've tried this, let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Remember, if you're new around here, you don't want to comment anything particularly about this beer. Tell me what your favourite beer is. Until next time, enjoy your beers. Cheers.